If somebody is abandoned in Sahaja Yoga, he goes out of the circulation of Sahaja Yoga. It's not coming in. So important, I have told you 100 times. It's the throwing out part of it, you see. Sometimes I feel I should give you some glues to stick on. Maybe the wheel can turn very fast and some of half-baked may be thrown out back again into the oven. So, I feel in these countries where I went, Spain, they call it Spain still half developing, Portugal developing. I don't know what you think about Italy, whatever it is called. Very humble people. Very humble from the very first day. Anyone who comes from the very first day, they are very humble, and because they are humble, they are sensitive to me. Because you have to be really very humble to be sensitive to me. That's a fact. Because I am too simple, naive, as if I do not understand anything. I look like that. As if I have no knowledge of anything. Very simple woman, talks in a very simple way, is very friendly. All right. So to understand me, you have to be extremely humble. And if you cannot go to that level of humility, you cannot see. And you cannot understand. And the more you start understanding, the more humble you will become, naturally, because you know what it is. So, I've told you many times about humility part of it, but my experience of these countries was, where I went there, they're very humble people, very humble. About Sahaja Yoga, extremely humble they were. Even the new people were very humble. Spanish people, same thing, extremely humble. You see, Don had told me that they have an ego of a bullfighter. But the one who came this time was so humble, I was amazed. Even if I could touch them, that was sufficient for them. Nobody pulled my hand, nothing. So this is what it is. One has to understand that we have certain tags of our past, which has to go down. The language should be extremely humble language. Try to read. I don't know whose language is so humble. Maybe mine, I don't know. But try to read books where people speak humble language, humble way of talking. You'll enjoy it. Really enjoy it. Humility is the glory of such yogis. It's the only way they will grow. It's like putting your roots down and down and down. The people who went from here were themselves amazed at the humility of the people who were there. Very much amazed. The way things are working out there, the way they helped us and did everything for us. And I'm sure now in Spain we'll have a very nice, very, very nice center. Of course, the ambassador is a very, very humble man, you know him, too humble. And he might be coming here, and one day I want to call him here to the ashram also. He and his wife will be here. So the ambassador was very sweet, and he called me to his house, invited, and he had a nice tea party. He called Indians and everything. And Indians were, they asked me for one thing, it will be shocking. They said, what about something to depend upon, you see? Can we have your photographs or something? It must be having some vibrations. Should we use your photographs for our worship? And the first I said that it's all right, it will work out, because I didn't want to say you have to take my photograph. So she was so disappointed, the lady. She said, no, there must be a photograph, so something which we can use after all. How can that be? Just a minute. And here, first thing comes up, like a big snake. Why mother's photograph? She should give us realization. She should solve our problem, solve our sickness, everything. But why her photograph? This is too much. In this, you can see the ego of the people. So sweet. Yeah. Now regarding ashram, I had asked him to make certain rules and regulations. And I must say that, of course, Nick should say things as you. Somebody told me that he should have been a little softer with it and all that. But supposing somebody is not softer also, you must know that this is sent by mother and you must do it. You see, actually when you say no to him, you are saying no to me also, isn't it? Because I sent him, I told him. And I told him that you must carry out these things. If you do not allow him to carry out, he has to be perhaps strict. By softer means supposing something fails, then what to do? But I really don't know. After realization, even if you do not do things, what should we do? Can you suggest? I mean, you should respect everyone. But say, even if you respect people, get up at 8 o'clock in the morning, then what should we do? What should be done? You just tell us. John? Tell me. I mean, it is really surprising. You are now prophets. Do you understand your quality? What are you? What have I given you? Then what should we do about it? See, these are so simple things, like children also. If you are in a hostel, you are made to get up in the morning, take your bath, get ready, walk out. I mean, if you do not listen, anyone, I mean, it's simple. Then what should one do with prophets? You just tell. This is not the problem in Australia. But Englishman going to Australia create problems. I have seen. Sally, what a problem, Bapre. You could see in contrast her ego, absolutely in contrast, I could see her clearly. Very mystical. Though she said that she was in, what place she was in? Jersey. And there bhoots caught her. But all the bhoots were egoistical. That's the point. Such a contrast, you know. If you have to move as one body, and you are enlightened, part and particle of the same body. Supposing this finger says, no, I will not do it. Now somebody is, say, putting a big attack or something, and this hand says, no, I will not work out. Then what to do? Actually, it's a very big dilemma for me. Because a hand which is forced to do it will never do it properly. If you don't force it, then what happens to that hand? I mean, just see, diligence is very important. We should not take things for granted. You see, we take ourselves for granted, everything for granted is not proper. We have to work hard. We have to work it out ourselves. You see, even if you have 10,000 surgeries, what is going to happen? The quality is so poor then, isn't it? You have to get up in the morning, do it meditation, you have to grow still much more. And you know you are so very few. I have to use you only. Of course, nobody can force you. And even if you force, a forced labor is not going to help in Sahaja Yoga. That is, you take it from. It cannot. So these people are where do they stand? Now, anyone you tell the job, say Warren was in Australia. There was jealousies about it, terrible jealousies. Why should he tell me? But because there's nobody to tell you within yourself. That's the problem, is it? So that which is sleeping, I put it into one man, all right, this man is going to tell. But then that person tells you, then people feel jealous. I mean, these are not the signs of a prophet. A prophet is never jealous. Because he knows he has achieved his powers now. He is in his own power. And his power is of surrendering. It is not of overpowering. You see, you cannot see the other side of it. You think power means you sit on somebody's head, then I am very powerful. Like a woman, if she can make her husband dance to her tune, then she thinks, oh, I am the most powerful woman ever living. It's the other way around. That the woman is so loving that husband can't do without it. That sort of a power. So sweet that the husband cannot manage without her. That sort of a power should be the power of a prophet. And these things are very much deeply put into us. So face it up and take it up. Whole value system is upside down. I tell you, the whole value system is upside down. See my life, own life. As a wife of such and such, I am expected to go into diamond shops, buy diamonds, become a big lady with heels like that, and walk with a neck like that, and do all sorts. I mean, this is the normal. It's expected. And shout at the chauffeur, and shout at the servants, and shout at everyone, and behave in that manner. I mean, that's what it is, the power is. You see, that's how the women express their husbands' positions. But the other way now is the situation of a prophet. The prophet asserts its powers through love. How much can you hate me? I love you double. Always. Whatever you will hate me, I'll love you double of that. Then what will happen? But to love, one has to sacrifice. One has to give. One has to bear. Love doesn't hang in the air. That's one thing people don't understand. Love is not only talking love or if you are a little gentle to someone is not the point. But even that bearing is a joy, because ultimately you are doing it for love. If love is the joy-giving thing, then that bearing is not much. You are doing it for love's sake. See, because love, unless and it is shared, you cannot enjoy. So first we have to be strict with ourselves, I think, will be a good idea. And loving to others. That may be the way we might work it out. By God's grace, we have a very nice place as an ashram. We might get even better places. We are the God's own blessed people. No one can believe that we could have such a nice place. But what are we willing to do for it? That's the point we should say. Don't take things for granted. I must want. I know England is the heart. But in God's realms, one can create many hearts. Not so difficult. So more harmony should be brought in. Even you will be surprised in France. It's so harmonious and so beautiful. Find faults with yourself all the time. Now, under certain circumstances, I have to appoint somebody. Like I would say, very personally, I would say Nick, because Nick is doing no job nowadays. He's quite a systematic person. He's all right. This thing. He has some problems, I know. You too have problems, alright? But he's the one available today. And he's the one who is going to do it. Take one case. Now you must understand why Mother has appointed somebody, alright. Accept it. Because it's a big dance on. They're trying to entertain. You see, look at this dancing. They are feeling the tenseness of the situation. So trying to entertain. That's it, that is life. See, they want to relax. They want to relax. They want you to feel nice, to be joyous. Look at them. In the same way, we should do. I'm sure now, henceforth. I think best thing is to make some poems. That may be a solution. Alright? Let's see. And let everybody start writing poems. It will be a good idea. And that will work out. I'll sing the song of praises. It's very little way. Just a very little way. Just there in your heart, besides the source of all the beauty. It's just turn your face towards that. That will work out. I'm sure it will work out.